Hello friends, welcome. So this is the sample question paper which is released by CBSE for class 12 mathematics term 1 MCQ based. So we'll be solving this paper in this video and we'll be like the options are already marked here, but we'll be solving the each and every question. So let's start without wasting much time. So first sign of, so the first question is sign of pi by 3 minus sine inverse of minus half. So sine inverse of minus x is minus sine inverse x. So this is basically sine of pi by 3 minus minus. So plus sine inverse half. Now sine inverse half is theta. If sine inverse half is theta, then sine theta is half. So we all know sine theta is half. That means theta must be pi by 6. So this is sine of pi by 3 plus pi by 6. That is sine of 3 pi by 6. That means sine of pi by 2. Sine of pi by 2 is 1. So the answer is 1. Next, the value of k lesser than 0, for which the function f defined as f of x equals 1 minus cos kx over x sin x if x not equal to 0, and half is if x is equal to 0. That means if x is equal to 0, if we put here in this expression, directly in this expression, then we are getting 1 minus cos of 0. Cos 0 is 1. So 1 minus 1 over sin 0 is 0. So 0 over 0. So 0 by 0 means indeterminate form. So that means we have to find the limit. We have to simplify this expression given to us and we have to find the limit. So suppose limit as h, let us take some h tends to 0, 1 minus cos kh over h sin h. So we have to somehow simplify this. So 1 minus cos 2 theta, this is one formula we have, 1 minus cos 2 theta is 2 sin squared theta. That means cos 2 theta, if we assume k by h, that means we can write 2 sin squared theta. Here theta will be kh by 2 divided by h sin h. Now we want this form, sin h over h. This form we want, or h over sin h, whatever, because this is a standard limit. We know the limit of this will be 1. So let us multiply kh over 2 whole squared and multiply and divide by kh over 2 whole squared. So that means 2 sin squared kh over 2 over kh over 2 whole squared into this is k squared h squared over 4h sin h. So 1h cancel, 2 cancel with 4, so this will become 2. Now k squared over 2 is a constant, so k squared over 2. Then we have limit of this. I have not written the limits here. So limit of this is 1, and then we have h over sin h. Now that is also standard limit. So this is also 1. So this is the limit. Now this limit should be equal to the actual value of function at the point at which the function should be continuous. So at x equals 0, that's half. So this should be equal to half. That means k square is 1 or k is equal to plus minus 1. Now k is equal to plus minus 1, but they have given that k is lesser than 0. They have already given. So the only possible value is minus 1. Next is if A equals, so A is Aij is a square matrix of order 2 such that Aij equals 1 when I not equal to j and 0 when I equal to j. So first of all we can write it like this: A11, A12, A21, A22 in the form Aij. So when I is equal to j, that means for the diagonal elements A11 and 12, 1 is equal to 1, 2 is equal to 2. So when I is equal to j, we have a 0. So that means 0 here and 0 here, and otherwise 1. So 1. So this is the matrix. Now they have asked A squared. A squared means you just multiply this matrix with itself. So 0 with 0 is 0. 0 into 0 is 0 plus 1 into 1 is 1. 0 into 1 is 0 plus 1 into 0 is 0. 1 into 0 is 0 plus 0 into 1 is 0. 1 into 1 is 1 plus 0 into 0 is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1001. That is the answer. You see 1001. 1001. Now value of k for which a equals k842x is a singular matrix. Now definition of singular matrix is that the determinant is 0. So how to find the determinant? Multiply 2k with k and minus 8 with 4. That means 2k squared minus 8 4 32 equal to 0. The determinant should be 0. Then only we will get a singular matrix. So k square should be equal to 16, k should be equal to plus minus 4. So that is the answer, plus minus 4. Next we have find the intervals in which the function f given by f of x equals x square minus 4x plus 6 is strictly increasing. So f of x is x squared minus 4x plus 6. This means f prime of x or derivative of x is 2x minus 4. So set this equal to 0. That means x minus 2 equal to 0. That means x equal to 2. So x equal to 2 is the critical point. So at this point the derivative is 0. The slope is 0. That means at this point it's a critical point. So this will divide the number line into two parts. So this is minus infinity to 2 and 2 to infinity. So this is one part and this is the other part. Okay. So they have asked find the intervals in which the function is strictly increasing. So let us check with a value less. So strictly increasing means the derivative should be positive. The derivative should be positive. So derivative is what? 2x minus 4. So suppose let us take a value minus, suppose 1. 1 is lesser than 2. So it lies in this region. So 2 into 1 is 2 minus 4 is minus 2. So that is lesser than 0. So the derivative is coming out to be negative. If we take suppose minus 1, then also minus 2 minus 4, that is minus 6. It's again lesser than 1. So for this region it's a decreasing function. And for this region 2 to infinity, suppose take a value 3. 3 is greater than 2. So 3 to just 6 minus 4 is, it's a positive number 2. Whatever higher values you take, it will always be a positive number. So it's an increasing function in this region 2 to infinity. So that is the answer, 2 to infinity. Next is given that A is a square matrix of order 3 and determinant of A is minus 4, then add determinant of adjoint. So this formula to remember, to the power n minus 1. So where n is your order of the matrix order 3 given to you. So this is, so they have asked you, they have already given that this is equal to minus 4, right? So this is minus 4 to the power 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. So minus 4 square is 16. That is your answer, 16. A relation R in set A 1, 2, 3 is defined as 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. Which of the following ordered pair in R shall be removed to make it an equivalence relation? So equivalence relation means we know it should be like simultaneously, it should be a transitive relation, it will be reflexive relation, and it will be transitive, reflexive and symmetric. So let us say if it is reflexive or not. Reflexive means if 1, 1 is like 1, 1 should be present, 2, 2 should be present, 3, 3 should be present. Yeah, that is, so it is a reflexive relation. Symmetric, is it symmetric? See, 1, 1 is present and 1, 1, if you invert them, we will get the same thing. But 1, 2 is present. Should 2, 1 should have been present, but 2, 1 is not present. That means it is not symmetric. But we have to make it symmetric because otherwise it will not be an equivalence relation. So 1, 2 should be removed from here. This is obvious. Transitive, if you check, 1, 2 is present, 2, 2 is present. So 1, 2 is present. Yeah, it is transitive. It is alright. It's transitive. Very good. So 1, 1 is present, 1, 2 is present. So 1, 2 is also present. It is transitive. Very good. But it is not satisfying the property of symmetry if we keep 1, 2. So 1, 2 should be removed. Then it will be an equivalence relation. Next is 8. This is a very simple question, like 2a plus, so if these two matrices are equal, that means the corresponding element should be equal. So 2a plus b should be equal to 4 and a minus 2b should be equal to minus 3. So b should be equal to 4 minus 2a, that is a minus 2, 4 minus 2a equal to minus 3, a minus 8 plus 4a equal to minus 3, 5a equal to 5, a equal to 1, b equal 4 minus 2, that is 2, b is 2, a is 1. Next is 5c minus d is equal to 11, the corresponding elements. 4c plus 3d equal to 24. So that means 5c minus 11 is d. So 4c plus 3, 5c minus 11 equals 24. 4c plus 15c minus 33 equals 24. 19c is equal to 24, right, plus 33. 57, so c is equal to 3. And d is equal to 5, 3, so 4. Because 5, 3 is 15 minus 11 is 4. Now they have asked a plus b minus c plus 2d. So a plus b minus c plus 2d. A plus b minus c plus 2d. So a is 1, b is 2, c is 3 plus 2d. D is what? D is 4. So 2 into 4. 1 plus 2 is 3 minus 3 is 0. So 2 4 ja 8. Your answer is 8. And you say that's your answer, 8. The point at which the normal to the curve y equals x plus 1 over x is perpendicular to the line 3x minus 4y minus 7 equals 0. Very important question. So curve is given to you, y equals x plus 1 by x. So you have to find the normal to this curve. What is the slope of the normal? So slope of tangent you can find, that is slope of tangent is a derivative. So dy by dx is 1 plus this ddx of x is 1 and ddx of 1 by x is x squared over 0 plus x. So this is basically 0 and ddx of x is 1, so minus 1, quotient rule, so minus 1. So that means 1 minus 1 over x squared. This is the slope of tangent. So the slope of tangent into slope of normal is equal to minus 1 because tangent and normal, they are perpendicular. So slope of normal is minus 1 over 1 minus 1 over x squared. So this is my slope of normal. This is the slope of the normal, and now given the normal should be perpendicular to the line. So consider this line, 3x minus 4y minus 7 equal to 0. So 3x minus 7 is equal to 4y, y is equal to 3x minus 7, 3 by 4 over 7 by 4. So basically you see this is y equals to mx plus c form. So m is the slope. Now m is 3 by 4. So this is the slope of the normal, the slope of the line, and this normal should be perpendicular to the line. That means this into the slope of the normal, that is this into minus 1 over 1 minus 1 over x squared should be equal to minus 1. So this thing, what is this? X squared minus 1 x squared minus should be equal to minus 4 by 3. So now you see x squared should be equal to 4. That means if we take x equal to 2 or plus minus 2, x is plus minus 2. So x squared is 4 and x squared minus 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. So x is plus minus 2. Now let us see, it is given to us that x is greater than 0. That means only possible value is x is plus 2. So you don't need to solve further. The y value you can find out by putting the corresponding x value, because see, y is x plus 1 by x. So that means y is x is 2, so y is 2 plus 1 by 2, that is 5 by 2. But you don't need to solve this because see, out of the options given, only 2, it's only in option A we have 2 in place of x. Otherwise plus minus 2 will not be the option because minus 2 is not possible, x is greater than 0, and half and minus half will not be the option. So the answer will be A. Pretty obvious. So let us move on. Next is sine of tan inverse x. So sine of tan inverse x, let this be equal to sine y. So tan inverse x is equal to y, or tan y equal to x. Tan y means sine y over cos y equal to x. So sine y equals cos x cos y. So sine y is what we have to find out. Now x cos y. Now this cos y, is there any way to write the cos y? See one thing, sec square y equal to 1 plus tan squared y. So sec y equals under root of 1 plus, what is tan y? Tan y is x. So 1 plus x squared. Tan squared y, so x squared. Now sec y is 1 over cos y. 1 over cos y is under root of 1 plus x squared. So cos y is 1 over 1 plus x squared under root. Right. Now so x cos y will be x over under root of 1 plus x squared. Just x multiplying x. So that is the answer. You see x over under root of 1 plus x squared. Next is, let the relation R be in the set A, x belongs to integer z, 0 less than equal to x less than equal to 12, given by R equals a comma b, such that a minus b is a multiple of 4. Then equivalence class containing 1. So 1 must be present. So suppose if 1 is present, then 5 is present. So 1 minus 5 is 4. That is a multiple of 4. If 1 is present and 9 is present, 1 minus 9 is minus 8. So that is also a multiple of 4. So see, only in this case the conditions are being satisfied. So this will be your answer. Because see, in this case it's 1 minus 2 is not a multiple of 4. So like see, 1 minus, see, it's given that x lies between 0, so a comma b, a mod of a minus b, they have given mod of a minus b they have given. So it should be multiple of 4. The equivalence class. So this will be the answer. Next is e to the x plus e to the y equals e to the x plus y dy dx is. Very important question. E to the x plus e to the y equals e to the x plus y. So we are just doing ddx. So ddx of e to the x plus ddx of e to the y equals ddx of e to the x plus y. ddx of e to the x is e to the x plus ddy of, this is the first derivative example, so I'm solving it like without jumping any step. Ddy of e to the y into dy dx. This is what we have to find out, by the way. Dd e to the x plus y of e to the x plus y into ddx of x e to the, ddx of x plus y. Sorry, not ddx plus y, ddx plus y of e to the x plus y into ddx of x plus y. So e to the x, ddx of e to the y is plus e to the y dy dx equals e to the x plus y into, so e to the x plus y ddx of x is 1. So e to the x plus y plus e to the x plus y dy dx. So e to the x plus y minus e to the y into dy dx is equal to e to the x minus e to the x plus y. So dy dx is e to the x minus e to the x plus y over e to the x plus y minus e to the y. So it's given that e to the x plus e to the y is e to the x plus y. So e to the x can be written as e to the x plus y minus e to the y minus e to the x plus y, right? I'm doing nothing, I'm just writing e to the x in terms of this. Then e to the x plus y minus e to the y. E to the y can be written as e to the x plus y minus e to the x. So this is minus, so my plus e to the x. So e to the x minus y, e to the x plus y cancel, this cancel. So minus e to the y over e to the x. So minus e to the y minus x. You see, that is the answer. Minus e to the y minus x. Next is, given the matrices A and B are of order 3 into n and m into 5 respectively, then the order of matrix C equals 5a plus b. So when you're adding, so see, multiplying a matrix by scalar 5, 3, whatever, that will not change the order of the matrix. And when you're adding two matrices of the same order, so first of all, you're adding this matrix, that means these two matrices must be of the same order, otherwise you cannot add them. So this should also be 3 into 5 and this should also be 3 into 5. So only possible option 3 into 5. Now y equals 5 cos x minus 3 sin x, then double derivative we have to find. So y equals 5 cos x minus 3 sin x. Y prime equals ddx of cos x is minus sin x. So minus 5 sin x minus 3 cos x. Y double prime, that is what you have to find. It is ddx of sin x is cos x. So minus 5 cos x. Ddx of cos x is minus sin x. So minus minus plus 3 sin x. This can be written as minus common 5 cos x minus 3 sin x. Now 5 cos x minus 3 sin x is just y. So this is just minus y. So you see, that is the answer, minus y. Now for matrix A, it's given, A is like this matrix is given to adjoint A transpose equal to. So first of all, let me write A 2, 5 minus 11, 7. So adjoint of A means, first of all, this is suppose Aij form. Then cofactor of A we have to write. So cofactor of this 2 will be, cut this column and this row, so we're left with 7. Now 2 is A11, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So minus 1 squared is just plus 1. So this will be 7 itself. Next we have 5. So 5, just cut this, we are left with minus 11. But this is A11, A12. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Minus 1 cube is minus 1. So minus of minus 11, that is plus 11. Then this is for 11 we have 5. But this is again, so minus 5. And then we have for 7 we have 2. This will be 2 only because this is 2 plus 2 is 4. So minus 1 to the power 4 is just plus 1. So 2. So this is my cofactor. Now you have to, they have asked us to adjoint of A transpose. So transpose of this is adjoint of A. So adjoint of A transpose means this transpose. So that will ultimately be this matrix itself. So 7, 11 minus 5, 2. You see, that is the answer, 7, 11 minus 5, 2. Next is the points on the curve x square over 9 plus y square over 16 equal to 1 at which the tangents are parallel to the y axis. First of all, find the derivative of this. Find dy by dx first of all. So x square over 9 plus y square over 16 equal to 1. That means dy over dx. ddx of x square is 1 by 9 is a constant. So ddx of x square, that means 2x by 9 plus 2y by 16 dy dx is equal to 0. So dy dx is minus 2x by 9 into 16 by 2y. So minus 16 by 9 minus 16x by 9y. So this is my dy by dx. Now they have, what is the condition? See, tangents are parallel, the points at which the tangents are parallel to the y-axis. Parallel to the y-axis means, see, suppose this is a, we have a slope, this is a positive slope. This is an even bigger slope. This is an even bigger slope, and at this the slope is, this at this point slope is 0, and at this point the slope is plus infinity. So if it should be parallel to y-axis, then the slope should be infinity. So this is the slope. Now this should be infinity. Infinity means 1 by 0. So this denominator should be 0. That means y should be equal to 0. Now if you put y equal to 0 in the equation, I get x squared by 9 plus 0 equal to 1. So x squared equals 9, or x equals plus minus 3. And so, and y is already 0. So that is the only satisfying point. So plus minus 3 comma 0. That is the point. Next is given that A equals AI, which is a square matrix of order 3 into 3, and determinant of A is minus 7, then the value of, this is very important question. Summation, see nicely. Summation I equals 1 to 3 A I2 capital A I2. Capital A I2 means cofactor. So this we have to find out. So see, basically what is this given to us? Summation, that means we can write A12 plus A22 into capital A22 plus A33 into capital A33. Now cofactor of an element, see, we know that cofactor of an element is like A22, and cofactor of an element multiplied by this thing and this cofactor, so this sign is automatically changed to minus. So if you try to think about it nicely, this is actually nothing but the determinant of A. I will not be showing the derivation here, but this is actually nothing but the determinant of A. So that means this is the determinant of A. So the answer is, so the determinant of A is already given minus 7. So that is the answer, minus 7. Now y is log of cos e to the x, then dy by dx is. So y is log of cos e to the x. Dy by dx we have to find out. So dy by dx is, first of all, dd cos, so 1 by cos e to the x into ddx of cos e to the x. Now that is dd e to the x of cos e to the x into ddx of e to the x. So 1 by cos e to the x, ddx of cos x is minus sin x, minus sin e to the x, e to the x. So that is minus e to the x, sin e to the x over cos e to the x is tan e to the x. So that is the answer, you see, minus e to the x, tan e to the x. Next is this question, very important. Based on the given shaded region, so this is the question from linear programming, as the feasible region in the graph. So this shaded region, this region is a feasible region in the graph. At which points is the objective function z equals 3x plus 9y maximum? So objective function given z equals 3x plus 9y. Now this objective function should be maximum. So first of all, we know that there is a theorem in linear programming that the objective function maximum, it's only possible at the corner point. So either at this point or at this point or at this point or at this point. So let us see at 0, 20. See, z equals 3x plus 9y. So in place of x we will put 0 and in place of 9 we will put 20. So 180 we are getting. 9 to 18, so 180. Then at the next corner point you see 0, 10. So at 0, 10 we are getting 3 into 0 is 0 plus 9 into 10 is 90. 90. So this is not the maximum value obviously because this is greater than this. Next corner point you see 5, 5. So 3 5 is 15 plus 9 5 is 45. So this is a very less value. It's obvious it will be lesser than 180. And the last point is 15, 15. So 3 15 ja 15 3 ja 45 plus 15 into 9. 15 into 9 is, I guess, it's 135, I think. It's, yeah, 135. So 135 plus 45. That is 180. So see, this is also 180 and this is also 180. That means we are getting a point. D is also maximum, C is also maximum. Now there is also one more theorem that if C and D both are giving the same maximum value, that means all the points lying in the line segment joining C and D will also give the maximum value. So the answer will be every point on the line segment CD. This will be the correct answer, not C or D. This will be the correct answer. So next is the least value of the function f of x equals 2 cos x plus x in the closed interval 0 comma pi by 2 is. So function is given 2 cos x plus x. So this is y. So the derivative will be ddx of cos x is so minus 2 sin x plus 1. So minus 2 sin x plus 1, this derivative you have to set equal to 0. So that means minus 2 sin x equal minus 1 or x sin x equals half. That means x equals pi by 6. At pi by 6 we know the sign is half. So we are getting, basically we have to check the function at 3 points. One is pi by 6, one is 0 and one is pi by 2. We have to check the end point, that is interval 0 comma pi by 2 and the point at which the derivative is 0. So in these points we will basically check the function. So the least value of the function. So function is 2 cos x over, so at 0, 2 cos 0 plus 0. Cos 0 is 1, that means 2. This is for 0. Next is for pi by 6. 2 cos pi by 6 plus pi by 6. 2 cos pi by 6 is what? Root 3 by 2. So root 3 plus pi by 6. Next is for the function pi by 2. So 2 cos pi by 2 is 0 plus pi by 2. So this is pi by 2. Now you see, pi by 2 will be the answer because at pi by 2 only this is we are getting the least value. The pi by 2, least value is pi by 2 because root 3 is 1 point something plus pi by 6. Now this is a bigger value. Pi by 2 means what? 3.14 by 2, something like this. And this is a big value. This is also 2, so it's a very big value. So this pi by 2 will be the answer. You see, pi by 2. Next is the function f defined from real number to real number. F of x equals x cube is either a 1-1 function or non-2 function. So obviously it will be a 1-1 function because see, suppose f of x1 equal f of x2 if we take, that means x1 cube equals x2 cube, that means x1 is equal to x2. So that means this is a 1-1 function. Definitely a 1-1 function. Now is this a onto function? So see, y equals x cube means x will be equal to y to the 1 by 3. Now this y to the 1 by 3 is a real number. Like for every value there will be a pre-image. So obviously this is also onto function. So the answer will be 1, 1 and onto, option D. Next is x equals x equals a sec theta, y equals b tan theta. Then we have to find the double derivative. So x equals a sec theta, y equals a b tan theta. So find d, double derivative means ddx, double derivative of ddx. At theta equals to pi by 6. So first of all let's find dx over d theta, that is a ddx of sec theta is sec theta tan theta. Dy over d theta will be b ddx of tan theta is sec square theta. Now dy over d theta divided by dx over d theta is dy over dx, so that will give you ultimately b sec theta over a tan theta, because b sec square theta and 1 sec theta will get cancelled. So b, now sec theta is 1 by cos theta, so b by a cos theta cos square theta, and tan theta is a cos theta sin theta, tan theta is sin theta over cos theta, so 1 cos theta will come here. So b by a sin theta. This is my first order derivative. Now the second order derivative will be, I have to again once more difference. So b by a sin theta means 1 by sin theta is cosec theta. So b cosec theta. B by a cosec theta. So d2 or d2x, this will be basically b by a is a constant. So ddx of cosec theta is minus cosec theta cot theta. So yeah. So basically if you find the value, it's pi by 6 given na. So cosec theta means cosec theta into cos theta. Cosec theta is 1 by sin theta into, so cos squared theta into cos theta into sin squared. Anyway, we can just directly find it out. So cosec, so sin pi by 6 is what? Cos pi by 6 is root 3 by 2. So root 3 by 2 divided by sin squared theta. B by A is there, okay? So root 3 by 2 B divided by A divided by sin squared theta. Sin squared pi by 6 is half. So half squared. So 1 by 4. So 4, 2. So root 3 B by 2A. Okay. Over A squared. Let us attempt this again. I hope there is some, I think there is some problem. Let us do it once more. So x equals a sec theta. So dx by d theta will be, dx of sec theta is, there is some confusion in this question. Let me check once. So ddx of sec theta is tan theta sec theta. So ddx of sec theta will be a tan theta sec theta, and dy by d theta will be y is what? B tan theta. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but I have not attempted this question previously. So I mean, I have only just marked the answers by seeing the internet. I have not done the process previously, so I'm just doing it right now. So I'm sorry if there are some mistakes. I hope you can bear with me, or you can just, just skip this part, maybe forward by a few seconds. So ddx of ddx of sec theta is tan theta sec theta. ddx of tan theta is sec squared theta. So b sec squared theta. So b sec squared theta over a tan theta sec theta. So b by a sec theta means 1 over cos theta, and tan theta means sin theta over cos theta. So b by a cosec theta. Now ddx of cosec theta is what? Minus cosec squared theta cot squared theta, right? So b by a cosec theta is dy by dx. Now we have to find ddx of b by a cosec theta. So we cannot find it like this. Yeah, that is why I think there was a problem. So first of all, dd theta of b by a cosec theta. That means b by a minus b by a. So what we were getting? Root 3 b by 2a. So root 3 b by 2a minus was there, right? Yeah, so minus root 3 b by 2a into, we have to do, so we're basically doing dd theta of b by a cosec theta into ddx of theta we have to do. Only then we can find ddx of this thing. So ddx of theta is what? ddx of theta is, d theta over dx. So that is 1 by dx by d theta. So that is this thing. So into 1 by a tan theta sec theta means what? Sec theta is 1 by cos theta. So 1 by a sin theta over cos squared theta. Now again theta is pi by 6. So sin pi by 6 is what? Half. And this is root 3 by 2. So 3 by 4. So 1 by 2 into 4 by 3. So 2 by 3. So 2 cancel. So yeah, basically we will be getting this thing only. And one a will be there. So a square. Yeah, basically we will be getting this thing. Minus 3 root 3 b over a square. You can just check it out. We will be getting this thing only. Next is in the given graph. the feasible region for a LPP linear programming problem is shaded. The objective function z is 2x minus 3 will be minimum at. So it will be minimum at the corner points because it's a bounded area. So 2x minus 3y, see this point 0, 8. 0, 8 means x is 0 and this is 8. So minus 3 into 8 is 24. Then 4, 10. At 4, 10 this will be 2 into 4 is what? 8 minus 30. So minus 22. So far the minus 24 is the minimum value, least value. Then for 6, 8 it will be a bigger value because 2 into 6 is already a big value. For 6, 5 or 5, 0 will not get. So the answer will be 0, 8. This is the least value, 0, 8. The derivative of sine inverse of 2x into 1 minus x squared with respect to sine inverse x. So suppose, see, sine inverse of 2x into 1 minus x squared. So the derivative, see, very simple. We have to take dd with respect to sine inverse x. So dd sine inverse x of sine inverse 2x 1 minus x squared. This we have to find out, right? Now suppose sine inverse 2x 1 minus x squared. Suppose if I put x equals cos theta. So 1 minus cos square theta under root, that is sin theta, and x is cos theta. So 2x means 2 cos theta sin theta. So 2 cos theta sin theta means what? Sin 2 theta. Sin 2 theta. So sin inverse of sin 2 theta. So dd sin inverse x of sin 2 theta is 2 theta. This sin inverse cancel. So theta is what? Cos inverse x. So basically you will get the answer to be 2 because see, if I take x, if I take x equals, yeah, no problem. If I take x equals sin theta, then 1 minus sin square theta is cos square theta and sin theta. So 2 sin theta cos theta, same thing we will be getting. But in this case, you see, theta is sin inverse x. So 2 sin inverse x. So 2 will come out of the bracket. dd sin inverse x of sin inverse x. So there is 1. So the answer will be 2. I hope you got it. Next is these two matrices are given to you, and then you have to find out what is the value of A inverse and B inverse, and then you have to see which option matches. So A is this and B is this. So first of all, find the value of AB. AB means 1, minus 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2. B means 2, 2, minus 4, minus 4, 2, minus 4, 2, minus 1, 5. So we have to multiply these two matrices. So 1 into 2 is 2, plus minus 4 into minus 1 is just plus 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 0, so 6. Then, yeah, 1 to 2 minus 1 is 0. Yeah, now 1 into 2 is 2, minus 1 into 2 is minus 2, so 0, and this is 0, so 0. Next 1 into minus 4 is minus 4, minus 1 into minus 4 is plus 4, so 0 and 0, this is also 0. Next 2 into 2 is 4, 3 into minus 4, 3 into minus 4 is minus 12, so 4 minus 12 is minus 8, and we have 4 into 2, so minus 8 plus 8, it's basically coming out to be 0. Then 2 into 2 is 4, 3 into 2 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10. Then we have 4 into minus 1, 10 minus 4 is 6. Then 2 into minus 4 is minus 8. 3 into minus 4 is minus 12. So minus 12 minus 8 is minus 20, and 4 5 is 20. So this is also 0. And then we are getting 0 into, so 0 into 2 is 0. This is 0 basically. So no, not 0. 0 into 2 is 0. Then 1 into minus 4 is minus 4. And 2 into 2 is 4. So the idea is 0, no problem. Now 0 into 2 is 0. 1 into 2 is 2. And 2 into minus 1 is minus 2. So this is also 0. And this is 0. Then 1 into minus 4 is minus 4. 5 to 10. So minus 4 plus 10 is plus 6. So 6i. This is 6 into, basically 6 into 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So this is identity matrix. So 6i. Now AB equals 6i. That means I can say B inverse equals B inverse. Like if I bring B to this side, then I have to bring 6 to this side. So 1 by 6a, I is just I. So this is the option. B inverse equals 1 by 6a. Next you see the real function f of x equals 2x squared minus 3x squared minus 36x plus 7 is strictly increasing, strictly. So basically this question you have to do what, like you have to find the derivative. So 3 to the 6x squared minus 6x minus 36. So this derivative, put it this equal to 0. So x squared minus x minus 6 equal to 0. So x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 equal to 0. X and x minus 3 plus 2 x minus 3 equal to 0. So x plus 2 into x minus 3. So critical points are minus 2 and 3. This is a critical point. So now you can check whether the function is increasing or decreasing by checking the sign of the derivative. So it's minus 2, what is the sign of the derivative, and then you can just check this out. Next, simplest form of tan inverse. So this is a very important question. See, first of all, study this term 1 plus cos x. So under root 1 plus cos x can be written as 1 can be written as cos squared theta plus sin squared theta. Theta can be anything. So let us say cos squared x by 2 plus sin squared x by 2. Cos theta. Now if x by 2 we are taking, then x is basically 2x by 2. So cos 2 theta is cos theta plus theta, that is cos squared theta minus sin squared theta. So we can write plus cos squared x by 2 minus sin squared x by 2. We can write. So these two terms will be given cancelled. So ultimately we will have root 2 cos x by 2, because cos square x by 2 outside of the root, it will be simply cos x by 2. And what is 1 minus cos x under root? Because see, only these terms we're having, 1 plus cos x and 1 minus cos x. So 1 minus cos x under root will be basically cos squared x by 2 plus sin squared x by 2 minus cos squared x by 2 minus plus. So plus sin squared x by 2. So root 2 sin x by 2. Root 2 sin x by 2 we are having basically. Yeah, under root here. So root 2 sin x by 2. So we can rewrite this question as root 2 cos x by 2 plus root 2 sin x by 2 over root 2 cos x by 2 minus root 2 sin x by 2. So basically if we take the root 2 common, we can just cancel the root 2's. Now we can divide each term by cos x by 2. So cos x by 2 over cos x by 2 is 1 plus sin x by 2 over cos x by 2 is tan x by 2 over this is again 1 minus tan x by 2. Now this can be written as, you see, tan 1 means what? Tan pi by 4 is 1. We all know this, tan pi by 4 is 1. So tan pi by 4 plus tan x by 2 over 1 minus tan pi by 4 into tan x by 2 we can write, because tan pi by 4 is 1. So 1 into tan x by 2, that's just tan x by 2 itself. So tan a plus tan b over 1 minus tan a tan b. This is the formula of tan a plus b, tan pi by 4 plus x by 2. Now ultimately outside the question there was tan inverse. So tan inverse of this thing means tan cancel. Our answer will be pi by 4 plus x by 2. That is our answer. Okay, pi by 4 minus x by 2, because see, it is basically 1 plus cos x by 2. So if it should be minus here and plus here, so that's why we are getting this. So it's minus cos x, so minus cos x is root 2 sin x. So yeah, like this is the procedure. I think I have done a mistake somewhere, but this is the procedure. Now given that A is a non-singular matrix of order 3, I am not wasting much time because we have already 43 minutes video. So non-singular matrix means determinant is not equal to 0. Now A square equals 2A, then value of determinant of 2A is given by. So determinant of 2A. Now A square is 2A. Suppose A square is 2A means AA is 2A. Now determinant AA equals 2 determinant A. So determinant A into determinant A equals 2 determinant A. So here one formula have to apply. So determinant A into determinant A is 2 determinant A. Right. So we have to find the value of determinant 2A. So there was a formula, I'm forgetting it. Okay, give me 1 second. Yeah, so yeah, this was the formula. K, this is this is C. If we have determinant of Ka, that is K to the n determinant A. So this we can write 2 to the n, it's given the order is 3, order 3. So 2 to the 3 determinant A we can write. So that means 8. So what is the value of determinant A? So let me show, I have actually, yeah. So suppose you see here, it's this formula I was talking about, this formula. So this similar question, same question actually. So this is 8 now. So this minus 8 equals 0. So if we take this common, the A minus 8 equals 0. So this will be either 8 or 0. Now see, it is given that, so it must be 8. So because it cannot be 0. Yeah, if it is 0, then this condition has been satisfied. But it is given that non-singular matrix. So determinant cannot be 0. Non-singular matrix means determinant cannot be 0. So the only possibility is 8. So that means they have asked us this value. So this value is 2 to the cube A. So 8 into this A is also 8. So 8 into 8. So 64. So that is the answer, 64. Okay. So just this formula we had to use, very important. And then this simple step. The value of b for which the function, f of x equals x plus cos x plus b is strictly decreasing over r. So x plus cos x plus b, strictly decreasing over r. So derivative is what? 1 minus sin x. So this derivative, decreasing means derivative should be lesser than 0. That means 1 should be lesser than sin x. That means sin x should be greater than 1. This is not possible. So that's why no value of b exists. Sin a maximum value is 1. Sin a can never be greater than 1. Let R be the relation of set n given by R equals a comma b such that a equals b minus 2. B greater than 6. Then see 2 comma 4, suppose 2 comma 4, this is a equals b minus 2. So 2 is 4 minus 2. Okay, but b should be greater than 6. Here b is 4. B is not greater than 6. 3 comma 8 not satisfying the condition. 3 is not 8 minus 2. 8 comma 7 not satisfying the condition. So only option is 6 comma 8, because 6 comma 8 is a is 6 and b is 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. So b is also greater than 6 here. B is 8 here. So that's the option. That's the answer. The points at which the function given by this is continuous. So function given to you. So see, f of x is, let us first find out the continuity of the function at x equals 0. Continuity of the function at x equals 0. So f of x at x equals 0 is f of x is minus 1, because if it's equal to 0, it's directly given minus 1. Limit as x tends to x from the negative, x tends to 0 from the negative direction. That means lesser than 0 case. That is x over, there is 0 by 0, like we have to take limit h tends to 0. 0 minus h over mod of minus h, so minus 1. This is also minus 1. The limit x tends to 0 plus, so it is also given greater than 0, means it's already given minus 1. So all three cases minus 1, that means it's a continuous function obviously. So the points at which the function is continuous, x equals, it's continuous at all the points. Next is a equals this and k equals this, and the values of k, a and b respectively are. So a is 0, 2, 3, minus 4 and ka is 0, 3a, 2b, 24. So ka, that means the k means what? 0 times k, 3a times k, sorry, so basically 2 times k is 3a, we can say. No, first of all, see, this is 4 and this is 24. So 4 multiplied by what is 24? Sorry, this is minus 4. So this is minus 4 and this is 24. So minus 4 multiplied by minus 6 is 24. That means I can say k is minus 6. So I can say k is minus 6. So if k is minus 6, then this is 2b. So minus 6 into 3 is what? Minus 6 into 3 is minus 18. So 2b. So b should be equal to minus 9. Only then we are getting minus 18. So k is... so see the option. See the options. These are the options that they have asked k, a and b. You see k, a and b respectively. So first of all, k is minus 6 and b is minus, and only one option is satisfying. So b will be the option. Next is a linear programming problem is as follows. Minimize z equals 30x plus 50y. Subject to the constants. So basically you have to do this, right? Like, let us see. First of all, 3x plus 5y greater than equal to 15. So first of all, plot 3x plus 5y equal to 15. So x and y points you take. Suppose x is 0, then y is 3, because 5 3 is 15. If y is 0, then x is 5. Next is 2x plus 3y equal to 18. So x, y. Suppose if x is 0, then y is 6, 6 to 18. If y is 0, x is 9. So let me plot these 2 points first of all. So this is 0, 3 means this point, suppose 0, 3. And 5, 0, 5, 0. So they have given us it is greater than this point. So suppose let us consider a point, suppose 0, 4. So 0, 4 means if I take 4 here, so 5 4 are 20 and 0 is 0. So 20 is greater than 15. So all the points above this, they are satisfying. So but below this, suppose let us take 0, 2. So 5 to the 10. 10 is not greater than 15. In fact, 10 is lesser than 15. So this region. Now this is 0, 6. Suppose this is 0, 6. This point. And 9, 0. So this line we are getting. Now this they have given us lesser than 18. Lesser than 18 means, suppose let us take a point above. Suppose let us take 0, 7. So 7 3 is 21. Now 21 is greater than 18. But now let us take 5, 0, 5. So 5 3 is 15, it's lesser than 18. So the region below is satisfying the points. So only feasible region I am getting, it's this region. It's a bounded region and it is in the first quadrant. So it's now minimize this value subject to the constants and x greater than 0, y greater than 0. So this region only they're talking about. Now linear programming problem is as follows. Yeah. So minimize this in the feasible region. The minimum value of z occurs at how many points? So let us see at 0, 6. Z is what? Z is 30x plus 50y. 30x plus 50y. At 0, 6 it is 50 into 6 is what? 300. At 0, 3 it is x is 0, so it is 53 ja 150. At 5, 0 it is 35 ja 5 3 ja 150. At again this is 6 9, 0. So 39 9 3 ja, excuse me, so 30x plus 50y. So 0, 6 is 300. And what is 9, 0? 9, 0 is 9 3 ja 27. So 270. But they have asked the minimum value. So minimum value, you see, it occurs at both this point and this point is minimum. That means all the points in between. So infinitely many points. So infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many points. The minimum value of z occurs at infinitely many points. The area of a trapezium is defined by function f and given by f of x equals 10 plus x over under root of 100 minus x square. Area when it is maximized is. So first of all, find the derivative. Simple thing, find the derivative and then you find the double derivative should be lesser than 0 because maxima they are asking, and then find the value at the derivative equal to 0. So f of x equals given to you 10 plus x root of 100 minus x square. So to find the double derivative means what? Product will apply. So first of all, treat 10 plus x as a constant. ddx of root or ddx of 100 minus x square to the power half plus root 100 minus x square, constant, treat this as a constant, and ddx of 10 plus x is 1. So because ddx of 10 is 0 and ddx of x is 1, so just this thing. Now this is 10 plus x into, see, half into, this formula you are all aware, 100 minus x square. Now ddx of 100 minus x square. This we are doing dd 100 minus x square with respect to dd 100 minus x square. So ddx of 100 minus x square we have to do. So that means 2a minus 2x plus root 100 minus x square. So now you see, this is basically minus 2 into 10 is minus 20x plus minus 2x square. Plus if we just do this thing, like if you just take the LCM and do it, so it will be 200, 2 into 100 minus x square, 200 minus 2x square. The whole divided by 200 minus x square. So this is basically, if we take the 2 common, these 2 we can cancel with it. So minus 10x minus 2x square, because minus 2 minus 2 minus 4x square. So 2 common minus 2x square. So minus 2x square minus 10x plus 200 equal to 0. Now set the derivative equal to 0. So find the value of x from here. From here you can find the value of x and then put that value of x in 10 plus x, 100 minus x square. Then you can find the answer will be 75 root 3 centimeter square. Now A is a square matrix such that A square equals A and I plus A cube equals 7A. I plus A cube minus 7A is equal to, they have asked us to find. So I plus A cube minus 7A. So A plus B whole cube is I cube plus A cube plus 3I square A plus 3 A square I minus 7A. Now given is that A square equals A. That means 1 cube plus A square A we can write. So that is A cube plus 3I square A plus 3A square is A. So 3A and I we don't no need to write. So 3A minus 7A. I cube is just I plus this is A square is A. So again A into A is A squared plus 3A minus 7A. So 3, 5, 6 minus 7 is minus A. So I plus A square minus A. Now A square is again A. So I plus A minus A. So that is I. So that is your answer, I. Now tan inverse x equals y. This is a simple question. So what is the range? They are basically asking that y, what is the range of y? Like what is the range of tan inverse x? So we all know range of tan inverse x is open interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So obviously answer will be option C. Now next question is, let A is 1, 2, 3, B is 4, 5, 6, 7. Let F is 1. So A is 1, 2, 3, B is 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 to 4, 2 to 5, 3 to 6 be a function. Now this function is divided as surjective, injective, bijective or just a function. So surjective means onto. Now this is not an onto function because every image should have a pre-image, but 7 has no pre-image. But it's an injective function because it's 1 to 1 mapping, not many 1. It's 1 1 mapping. So injective will be the right answer. Now for A equals 3 1 minus 1 2, then 14 A inverse is given by. So see, A inverse how to find? A inverse means 1 over determinant A into adjoint of A. So A is given to be 3 1 minus 1 2. So determinant of A will be 3 to the 6 minus of minus 1, that is plus 1 7. So 7 is determinant of A. And adjoint of A how to find? First of all find the cofactor. So with respect to 3 it will be 2. Then this will be minus 1. So this is, yeah, this will be 1. So sorry, plus 1. Because this is minus 1 and minus or minus 1 will become plus 1. Now with respect to this it will be 1, but again minus 1. But with respect to this will be 3, plus 3. Now the transpose of this. So the adjoint is 2 minus 1, 1, 3. So this into 1 by 7. Now they have asked 14 A inverse. So this is A inverse. Now this into 14. So 14 by 7 is 2. So 2 into 2 minus 1, 1, 3. That means 4, 2 to the 4, 2 into minus 1 is minus 2. 2 into 1 is 2, 3 to the 6. So 4 minus 2, 2, 6. So 4 minus 2, 2, 6. B is the answer. Next is the points on the curve y equals x cube minus 11x plus 5 at which the tangent is y equals x minus 11 is RR. So curve is given to you. Points at which the tangent is y equals x minus 11. So what is the derivative? Derivative is 3x square minus 11. Derivative of the curve. So 3x square minus 11. Now so 3x square minus 11, this is the points on the curve at which the tangent is y is x minus 11. So point at which the tangent, that means the slope should be equal to this. The equation of tangent they have given us. So that means this is equal to this should be equal to c, y equal to x minus 11. So y equal mx plus c, so m is 1. So this should be equal to 1. 3x square should be equal to 1 plus 11 is what? 12. X square should be equal to 4, x should be equal to plus minus 2. Now see, plus minus 2, so what is the value of y? So y, suppose x is plus 2. So y is 2 minus 11, that is minus 9. So 1 point you are getting 2 comma minus 9. Suppose x is minus 2. Then y is minus 2 minus 11, then we are getting this is minus 13. Now minus 13, and so if you check that this will not be satisfying the value, because if x is minus 2, then minus 2 minus 11 is minus 13. So y we are getting minus 13, and so here if we x is, so suppose in this y equals x cube minus 11x plus 3, if we put y equals 9, so 2 comma minus 9, so minus 9. So 2 means 2 cube is 8 minus 11 to the 22 plus 5. So 8 plus 5 is 13 and 22. So this is minus 9. So this is satisfying. But in case of minus 2 minus 13, you see minus 13 should be equal to minus 2 cube minus plus. So plus 22 plus 5. You see plus 22 plus 5 is, like this will never, minus 2 cube is minus 8. So this will never be equal to minus 13. Minus 2 cube is what? Minus 8. So 22 plus 5 is what? So this will never be equal to minus 13. So only option is 2 comma minus 9. That is the answer. Next question, let us move on to the next question. Matrix given to alpha, beta, gamma, minus alpha. This is A. A square equals to 3i given to you. A square equals to 3i. So to find the value of then which condition is being satisfied, that you have to say. So A square means what? Let us move on to the next page. Yeah, so what was that? Alpha, beta, gamma, minus alpha into alpha, beta, gamma, minus alpha is equal to alpha squared minus beta gamma. Then this is alpha beta minus alpha beta, so 0. Then gamma alpha minus alpha gamma, 0. And then this is again beta gamma minus plus alpha squared. Wait a second. So yeah, so this is beta gamma and this is alpha square. So in the first case, this is alpha square plus beta gamma. Why minus? This is plus beta gamma. Okay. So this is also alpha square plus beta gamma. So this is equal to, they have given you 3i means what? 3 into 1001. So that means 3003. So that means this is equal to 3. So alpha square plus beta gamma is equal to 3. So which option is being satisfied, you see? This option is being satisfied. 3 minus alpha, so this is 3. So 3 minus alpha square minus beta gamma equal to 0. So that is the option C that is being satisfied. Now is section C, the last section. So the last section is, for an objective function z equals ax plus by, where a comma b greater than 0, the corner points of the feasible region determine a set of constraints inequalities are the corner points given to the condition on a and b such that the maximum of z occurs both at 30, 30 and 0, 40. So maximum occurs both these points, maximum both these points should be equal. So 30 comma 30 means ax plus by. So 30a plus 30y should be equal to 0 plus 40y should be equal to 40y. So sorry, 40, not y, b. For 30b should be equal to 40b. So 30a should be equal to 40b by 40b minus 30b, that is 10b. So a should be equal to 1 by 3b. 10 by 30 is 1 by 3, so a should be equal to 1 by 3b. Now if a should be equal to 1 by 3b, that means 3a should be equal to b, or b minus 3a should be equal to 0. b minus 3 should be equal to 0. So that is the option, b minus 3 should be equal to 0. For which value of m is the line y equals mx plus 1 tangent to the curve y equals y square. So see, basically this is a parabola like this, and tangent means, so see, basically you have to consider some point h comma k. So h comma k is the point. Now h comma k means k square equals 4h. This is one equation we're getting, and we can put h comma k in this equation also. So k equals mh plus 1. Now h we can write k square over 4. So k equals k square m over 4 plus 1. That means 4k equals k square m plus 4. K square m k squared. So I'm solving it here. M k squared minus 4k plus 4 equal to 0. Now you see one thing. The tangent is cutting only at one point. So that means there should be a unique solution of this quadratic. So b square minus 4ac, this d, b square minus 4ac, this should be equal to 0. Now what is b square is minus 4 square is 16 minus 4 into a into c. So 16, c is 16, so 16 into a is m should be equal to 0. That means minus 16m should be equal to minus 16, so m should be equal to 1. So m should be equal to 1, that is the answer. So yeah, m should be equal to 1, for which value of m is 1. The maximum value of x, so x into x minus 1 plus 1 by cube, 0 less than equal to x less than equal to 1. So the maximum value you have to find. So this is ddx. First of all, find ddx of this. So ddx of this will be 1 by 3 x into x minus 1 plus 1 to the power 1 by 3 minus 1. 1 by 3 minus 1 is minus 2 by 3 to the power minus 2 by 3. Then ddx of x square minus x plus 1. So this is into 2x minus 1. So maximum value means this derivative, first of all, so if you no need to find the double derivative. So maximum value means you can find it in this way, right? The maximum value means, suppose this derivative is equal to 0. So that means, so 2x minus 1 equal to 0. So 2x is 1, x should be equal to half. Or what else we are getting? If x minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0, so x square minus x plus 1 equal to 0. So answer is given 1. So basically that is the point. That is what you have to do. You have to find the derivative, and then you have to calculate it at the end points. 0 and 1 at the end point. So 0, you have to calculate so at what point the derivative is becoming 0? At half. So calculate the values at half, 0 and 1. So at 0 it is 0 into 0 minus 1. So 0 plus 1. So it is 1. At 0 we are getting 1. Then at half means this point. At half we are getting, just try to understand it's greater than 1 or lesser than 1. We want to find the maximum value. So half into half minus 1 is what? Minus half. So minus 1 by 4 plus 1 raised to the power 1 by 3. So that will definitely be lesser than 1. And next point is 1. So at 1 it is 1 minus 1, it is 0. Then it is the same thing, 1. So the maximum value is 1 itself. Next, in a linear programming problem, the constants on the decision variables x and y are x minus 3y greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0, 0 lesser than or equal to x lesser than or equal to 3. The feasible region, this you can just find out. You will find the feasible region is bounded in the first quadrant. So let us see how this is coming. So see, x minus 3y equal to 0. First of all, let us plot x and y. So if x is 0, then y is also 0. And suppose if x is 3, then y is 1. So 0 comma 0 and 3 comma 1. So this is one line we are getting. Now x minus 3y greater than or equal to 0, they have asked. So suppose let us consider this point. Suppose this is what? 0 comma 2, let us consider. So above a point above this region, above this line. So that means 0 comma 2. So 0 and this is 2. 2 means minus. So minus 3 into 2 is minus 6. So minus 6, that is not satisfying. Greater than 0, not satisfying. Because we need this to be greater than 0. Minus 6 is lesser than 0. So let us take a point, suppose minus 2, 0 comma minus 2. So minus 2, minus 3 into minus 2, 0 is x is 0 and minus 3 into minus 2 is minus 6. So, minus 3 into minus 2 is plus 6. So plus 6 is greater than 0. So this region they are talking about, this region. What else? They have given y greater than 0, that means this region. And last condition is x is greater than 0 but x is lesser than 3. X is lesser than or equal to 3. So this is suppose 3. So x is lesser than this. That means this point we are getting. So this is a bounded region and this is in the first quadrant. So is bounded and is in the first quadrant. Now let a equals this, where, so yeah, we have to find the determinant. So a equals 1 sine alpha 1 minus sine alpha 1 sine alpha minus 1 minus sine alpha 1. So determinant means what? Determinant means this is a. So determinant a will be equal to, see, 1 into this minus this. So 1 minus this will be plus. So 1 plus sine squared alpha. Then minus sine alpha into minus sine alpha minus or minus plus sine alpha. So 0. Plus 1 into sine squared alpha plus 1. 1 plus sine squared alpha. So 2 sine squared alpha plus 2. Now, see, they have given that this determinant minimum value and maximum value they are asking. So minimum value is, if minimum value of sine is 0, so 2 into 0 plus 2 is 2. And maximum value of sine is 1, so 2 into 1 plus 2 is 4. So it will be 2 comma 4 and open interval or close interval. So see, it's given that 0 less than equal to alpha less than equal to 2 pi. So in this, everything is lying in this interval. So the answer will be closed interval 2 comma 4. The last question is the last 5 questions case study. So this is very simple question. The fuel cost, suppose here they have given the picture of a WAP4 locomotive. This is a WAP4 locomotive and ICF coach. I've seen the color picture actually, because the ICF coaches are not recognizable in this color. So of Indian Railways. Anyway, I'm a rail enthusiast. That's why I saying this. That is not part of the question. So yeah. The fuel cost per hour for running a train is proportional to the square of the speed it generates in kilometers per hour. So fuel cost per hour, let that be FC is equal to, proportional to it, so that means equal to some constant times V square. V square is the speed it generates in kilometer per hour. If the fuel costs rupees 48 per hour at speed 16 kilometers per hour and the fixed charges to run a train amount to be 1200 per hour, assume the speed of the train as V. Then you have to answer some questions. This is the last portion. So, given the fuel cost per hour is k times the square of the speed of the train generates in kilometers, the value of k is. So, given that the fuel cost per hour is k times the square of the speed of train, so kv square, so fuel cost, then the value of k we have to find out. So, the fuel cost per hour, they have in the previous page, what else they have given? Fuel cost rupees 48 per hour at speed 16 km per hour. So rupees 48 equals K into V 16 km per hour. So K into 16 squared. That means K is 48 over 16 into 16. So 3 by 16. See, that is the answer. K is 3 by 16. Next is, if the train has traveled a distance of 500 kilometers, the total cost of running the train is given by the function. So for 500 kilometers means, see, the total cost means, first of all, the fuel cost. For 500 kilometers, you will calculate the fuel cost. So fuel cost is what? Kv squared. So 3 by 16 V squared. So 3 by 16 V squared, this is the fuel cost, because its fuel cost is K into V squared, and K we found out 3 by 16. So 3 by 16 V squared is the fuel cost. Next is the fixed charges to run the train amount to rupees 1200 per hour. Now they have the total cost of running the train for distance of 500 km. So train is moving at a speed of 16 km per hour. So to go 500 km, how much time it will take? This you can find out, and from here if you see, if you find out, you will get basically this thing, 375 over 4V plus 6 lakh over V. So this function basically will be getting. Next is the most economical speed to run the train means, you have to just find the least cost, find the derivative of the least cost. The fuel cost for the train at the most economical, and the total cost is also you can find out from this previous question only. So that was all for this video, and I hope, actually I don't have much more memory in my, I don't have much more memory in my camera, so I have to end the video here, but I hope it was helpful. Thank you very much.